radio show on Allain. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
It's the Traffic Mix on 88.5 Sufri FM.
Surf FM. Good morning to you. It is now 7 minutes after the hour of 10 a.m. in Surf St. Lucia, Eastern Caribbean. Welcome inside another edition of House Guests, and of course, this time it's virtually in a studio with I have my moderator, Mr. Allain Simforian, and virtually we have no other than Allain, and a lot of you all know him as the KFC Challenge organizer, or should I actually say creator. A special good morning to you, sir, and thank you so much for joining us on this platform.
Hi, morning. How are you doing? Morning, Sufre. Saudi, what's up? Hear me loud and clear?
Morning to you.
All right, good.
Good morning.
Good morning. Everybody good?
Yes, we're good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. I'm happy. We just concluded the challenge yesterday, so I'm happy to be done with the all the stress and everything that goes into putting together an organization. But I'm really happy with the way things turned out. So today I'm relieved. I'm happy. I'm good.
Okay, just before we actually get into the nitty-gritties, for a lot of persons who are not aware, let's just have an introduction of yourself. Tell us a little about who Arthur is, a product of the soil.
What's up? Born and raised. Born and raised in the development Sufre, I've been doing this for a little bit. I've gone into music, about 15 years ago with the Matrix Band in Sufre. Of course, from there, it's just been putting on music. The Evolution formed in 2013, 10 years ago. And from there on, going into the Groovy Monarch, that worked out well for me eventually. And here I am today, 5-time Monarch. Into many other things, being a teacher, Super Compre, Balata, Abono Secondary, but now I'm fully into the music and my business here at Major Records.
Way to go. Thank you for that. And of course, we saw another part of you unfold where a lot of young persons with talent were given an opportunity to showcase through what is called the KFC Arthur Challenge. So you mind sharing with us a little about it and your strides to date?
Well, the Arthur Challenge started in 2018. That's when I actually resigned from competition, and it was just me looking at a means which I could give back. I have always wanted to, give other people an opportunity that I didn't have. Back when I lived in Sufre, there were not many means for me to, record a song properly, or I would have to be coming all the way to the north. I remember the struggles of trying to break through in the industry, and being in the position that where I was able to give people a chance. I decided to, since I can't just randomly just give anybody, there's so many undiscovered talents around. I decided, since people love competition so much, with things like StarQuest, Rising Stars, American Idol, well, how's about? And at the time, there were a lot of challenges happening. So I said, let me make my own challenge and give people a platform. It started with just myself throwing out a chance to come and record with me at my studio. And then when we started getting the videos started coming in by the numbers. Other people started to jump on board. Who came along for giving a photo shoot? Peter Sonny came along for a music video. So many different people came on board just to give something in kind. And that was the first edition. That time it was just on Facebook. No auditions, nothing like that. It was just videos. And then that year, Manasa Stanislas from Sufre, he won in the first year. We had the likes of people like Toriel, Stephian, who have gone on to do big things as well in the industry. And then the following year, we decided we want to take it up a level. And Dwayne Men's from Blazing, he approached me. He told me he had the idea to do something like a few talent competitions, which is the On the Rise. And he was like, let's collaborate. He has some sponsors. He has KFC who's willing to support something like that. IC who's willing to support. And I was like, okay, well, sure. Let's take it up a notch. And then we had the 2019 edition, which T-Blacks won. And from there on, we had the finals at Bay Gardens. It was a small venue, just the competitors and their families. We had the likes of people like Mr. Adrian, I was a teacher at Suffolk Primary, Michelle McKetney. We had a good crop of talent. Men Fee from Chozel, Cleus Antoine, and people that I've worked with since. And the challenge just continued to grow. But during the pandemic, things kind of slowed down. We weren't able to get sponsorship. So we decided to take a break. And last year, end of last year, we decided, you know what, let's bring this back. Let's try to, we have to take it up a step further. Let's take it to the national level. Let's try to get people involved from all over. And, with a little more assistance, we decided to throw in a semi-final phase in FIFOT. We said, you know what, at the time, there wasn't all that shooting happening. And we said, let's bring some activity to FIFOT, and the South is always left out most of the time. So we don't want to, let's go to both ends, South and North. So we decided to go down FIFOT. We had our semi-final phase with 21 participants. It was so hard to go from 155 submissions. People sent so many videos. It was definitely a tough task, but we did that and brought it down to 11, which we took to the National Cultural Center, which happened on Saturday.
Wow, thank you so much. And even on the outside looking in, I was really elated seeing a lot of talent because a lot of the times persons are maybe just sitting waiting to be discovered. And it was
Yes.
such a competition. And I know the judges were persons who actually voting online and they had a tough time. Everybody went for Jesus, actually, or even for me, I thought the guy who sang the country, he had an awesome voice as well. He did an amazing job.
Right. All I can say, every single one of them came out there and they put their heart and soul on stage. They did very good. I was very impressed with them. We did workshops with them before the competition. We had the likes of Bachelor doing some vocal training with them. I did some performance workshop with them as well. Bigger to Mr. Darwin Gard, who also came to speak about marketing and branding, because it's more than just having a voice to become something in the music industry. A lot of times we see people with talent and they don't understand that having that talent alone cannot get you far. It can't get you anywhere. Sometimes it's a lot of other things, that your likability factor, how you're able to relate to people. Networking is so important. Who know you, who that's also very important. Your branding, how you present yourself, the style of music that you do. Even if somebody like Andreas, he resonates with people because Lucians love country. So a lot of these little things that make up an artist, it's very important that they learn that along the way. And sometimes sitting at home without the guidance, without knowing, you get a little discouraged because you feel like you're not going anywhere. But the truth is, there are not many initiatives, there's not many platforms, there are not many avenues to let yourself be known other than posting on Facebook. And sometimes if you don't have many friends on Facebook, you don't really get seen by many people. But you just have to keep trying to find some way, without the likes of the challenge. You just have to keep doing things. I remember when I started, it was high five, and I kept posting videos on high five all the time. Some people didn't like it. Some of them, you guys sing, so that magic, but I still did my thing. And eventually, big up the Matrix band then for giving me an opportunity to come and join the band. And even in the band too, it was years from 2007 to 2013. I was still fairly unknown to the rest of St. Lucia. I remember when I came first runner up, people was like, "Who's mate? Where that man come from?" But I was already there, still striving. Every level you get to is, it's still more challenges that you have to overcome. And for them in the challenge, I think it was just a start. Not everybody can win. Everybody has their perception of who should win. That's the crazy thing, which is why most of these shows go to voting. The previous phases, we had the judges get involved. The judges chose the top 15, and from the initial phase to the top 21 down to 10. But at the end, everybody's going to have their bias. Everybody, I had my pick. Between the three judges, I went to each of them. All of them had a different pick. Two of them were even arguing as to who should have been the one. So, and these things happen. Like even in things like monarch pageantry, that's why when you see they choose a winner, oh, this one, oh, they cheat for that one. That one should have win.
It's true.
It always happens because art is very subjective. What might appeal to one person just might not appeal to the other person. You might like a particular song, you might like a particular person, maybe because you know them or you like their style and you think that they deserve it. And that's why American Idol, Star Quest, Rising Stars, X Factor, all these shows, every single one of them, I did my research, all of them go to the voting platforms. to decide the winner. All right, and we did that. And Jesus, I'm not mad about anybody. I'm happy with Jesus winning. He's a very talented youngster. I think that he has a lot to offer. Incredible voice. There are so many others within the competition too who have amazing voices too, and I can see them going far. One of them just sent me a soca demo that she wants to put out. I can already see myself working with some of them. I have songs in mind for them already. Malonia, I love the tune from very early. She sang a reggae song, and I've had a reggae song in the pipelines that I would look for a female artist to sing. I think she's up and ready for the task. I was able to reach out to the promoter of the country show that happened at Boseju to get Andreas a spot on that, so they can look forward to him. And hope whatever jazz opportunities come my way, I'll try to fit in, whichever one of them I see can fit on that stage.
Thank you so much. And I think that's basically it. Not after the contest has happened and persons have been selected, maybe the winner, whatnot, that it doesn't just die, that
Yeah,
persons continue to actually put their voice out there. Platforms are created for them. And I think it's a great initiative, actually. And kudos to you and your team. I'm very happy you spoke about challenges because a lot of the times we tend to feel down and out if it doesn't necessarily work out for us at the first time. But then you spoke of, look at how you tried and you never gave up, and look at where you are today. So I think it is exemplary for a lot of persons to do that. Again, you are coming from software and you know of the numerous challenges, especially the artists facing software, and maybe you're privy to that as well. So you can actually
for sure.
speak to motivation, and I think they do not have the support system needed.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Because I mean, you know, it's sad that there's so much talent in Soufre, and that's one place I really want to. It's always been a dream of mine to set up a studio down there. I've had talks in the past with certain people who have the influence, but it's something that I've not given up myself on. To give them a chance to not have to leave Soufre. For now, the most I can do, is invite them to my studio. I've worked with a few of them, the likes of Donatan, Saint, Seeker, there's so much budding talent. Chad, a few of them who've come through the studios, and I want them to have more of an opportunity. Give them a chance because there's more. There's more to the Manchester. There's more to the Arthur. There's more to the Future Lights. There's more to the Matrix Band, Benji, Big Vibe. There's so much talent coming out of there. And I think that once they have the chance and the platform, I think we can see a lot more. It doesn't have to stop at Arthur. There's so much more that can happen, and I'm hoping that we can get more corporate help to actually give them the opportunity to shine.
Thank you. Not wanting to throw you under the bus, we know a lot of buzz is in the air for jazz, not just in Soufrière, but also in the northern parts of the island. And a lot of events are actually unfolding and carnival and stuff. So you mind sharing your plans with us? What is next for you?
Well, I was hope for carnival wise. I was hoping to bring up my event. I'm hoping to bring it back. I'm still dabbling with the thought of bringing EDF Evolution the Family back in Soufrière. We did that a few years ago at the stadium. The following year, which we were supposed to do it, I remember the stadium went into construction for to bring the now stadium. So we never had a chance to come back. We did it back in Choiseul. I always want to keep it down there in the south. As much as I don't live down there anymore, I'm still very much Soufrière hat, and I like my focus to be down there. So I'm hoping to bring that back. Hopefully that comes true. Jazz wise, I don't want to let the cat out the bag just as yet. I'll wait for the announcers to announce it. I'm not on main stage jazz, but I'm hoping that I've only ever done it once in 2013. Matrix, we played for Emeron Henry, and he used us as a backing band, so I was able to open for him. But I've never been featured there as an artist. But maybe it's not just my time yet. When they're ready for me, I'm ready for that. But until then, I'm still waiting to hear from other organizers. Moshi has reached out to me as well, and a couple others. But when they're ready, they let it
I
out.
suspect you do not want to say too much at that time, which is very much respected as well too.
Yeah.
Um, yes. What impact would you like to create both here and abroad? I mean, I know you always perform Labor Day and different events and stuff, Toronto and whatnot, which is
Right.
good exposure.
Yeah, for sure. For me, on different levels, different vibes. I still have not reached my full potential on the regional and international market. Yes, I've been buzzing there. I've had a couple of tunes like Wine and You and Feeling Irie who have being on the rhythm with people like Patrice and the likes of Skinny Fabulous, Ricardo Jew, it's given me a little out there exposure. But I think there's so much more that I can do there. I'll be very honest with you. I don't really have the drive to be no big superstar anymore or be touring around the world. It's not really. I guess maybe starting my family now and not and having other businesses and focusing on that has taken my attention away from that. But if it happens, it happens. If I get the big tune that takes me around the world, then I will embrace it. For now, I'm like through the After Challenge. I'm more about discovering new talent and helping to nurture and bring forth the next style, especially here. I have my respect there. People, I still get bookings throughout. People still show me love and give me the encouragement. So I'm gonna keep doing music. Whatever comes my way, I take it on. I just want to inspire the next generation. I'm into my 40s and I get any younger. So I don't think I can be jumping up on a stage probably in 10 years' time. I probably want to do something else. So now I'm just doing it because I love it too and trying to get somebody else to go further than I went.
Thank you for that. 88.5 Surf FM, 23 minutes after the hour of 10 a.m. in Surface Solution, Eastern Caribbean. If you're just joining us, good morning. Good morning to you. Welcome inside. Virtually, we have Arthur Allain or KFC Alpha Challenge. And to those of you joining via frequency as well, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in. As we narrow down our discussion, we've seen, I cannot avoid discussing it, but we've seen bloodshed over the past weekend. And as a young person, and I know you have music actually that brings about a lot of positive change. But I think it takes a lot more than that, not just the music, but in behavioral patterns and gangs and guns. There is so much happening. So I would love you to use that platform, maybe just to recharge, just maybe your sentiments, what you think can be done, cause and effect, etc.
There's a lot that can be done. It's very saddening and disheartening what's really happening in St. Lucia right now. I think each of us, every single St. Lucian has to play their part. A lot of times we hear government this, government that, but we've seen government after government, things really haven't changed much. There is a lot that can happen from the top down to the bottom. We all have our responsibilities. Artists in particular, like myself, we have a responsibility. The kind of music, the messages that we send out. We know how much of an effect it has on the youth. So from my personal perspective, I try to do music that uplifts people and makes people feel good and a positive message instead of the gun this and gun that. I didn't grow up in any gang or on the streets, so I know better than to promote that type of lifestyle. I know other people in the music they speak about their experiences, and that's fine too. But we have to draw a line and send a message that, hey guys, this is not the way to go. Big up to people like Donatan, who has drawn the line before of having fallen on the wrong path, but now correcting it and showing, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of this little documentary you put out on Facebook. These are the inspiring stories that we need to share to touch at least one life, because it could be just that one young person we save from going down that road, and it could be a big change around. And if we do more of that, the more people who can help to influence others better. I think it starts with us at home, from the parents to the schools, the teachers, to the friends, the family, the workplace. We have to be more kind to each other and spread a whole lot more love. We need to stop there will always be crime. There'll always be haters and bad mind and backbiting and jealousy and envy. But we have to be the change that we want to see. So if we just look in the mirror and see what can I do personally to help, and from the government who can look at what programs can we put in place from the grassroots up, think of more initiatives. After the challenge is one thing. What else can we do to keep the youths involved? This is over. What next? What can we do? Or what programs can we put in place? And I know there's many brilliant people with brilliant ideas, but sometimes we need a little more than talk. Action is what we need, and that's what's pretty much lacking of late. And we need to hear those plans. We need to figure out, okay, what are we going to do next? And I think things will get better. It may get worse before it get better, but it eventually will get better. Life is balanced. So I'm looking forward to things changing and the youths to actually put down the gun, And like my song says, the message I preaching is leave up, guns down. Life is too short, man.
Definitely. And I think maybe you should have a collab in terms of maybe stakeholders wanting to work with you, knowing that you have an impact, especially the youth, through your song and whatnot, maybe to bring some measure,
Yeah,
to
for
our
sure.
beautiful country. Try
I'm
to
always
restore peace.
I'm always down for that, you know. So, and that's something I always preach. I just recently went to the Bordeaux Lake Correctional Facility, bigger to Penn Joseph and the program, just go in there and helping with the message and to bring some sort of reform. That's important. As artists, we have a responsibility. People see they understand the influence we have. We should all play our part.
Definitely. And I think a lot of the times people should be able to speak freely. Sometimes they know and see everything that's happening and they just tight lipped. Nobody really wants to
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
again. Their families are being threatened and different things. So they may not wish to say anything because how protected are we? How are the authorities even, gonna protect us and our household? So I think most of the times we have lost the culture and the value in terms of let's be each other's keeper.
For sure, for sure. We got to bring it back, all of us.
It may be tough, but then
Yeah,
a small
we
measure,
have to
the
try,
little gesture can actually help.
for sure.
We're almost to our end of our discussion. It's been interesting for sure. I want to ask you, what do you think? Again, it's pretty close to what we just discussed. How can we actually claim back Sweet St. Lucia? I know you have your anthem, with, St. Lucia, we love,
Yes, I mean, right now there, I think there's so much that we can do, to bring St. Lucia even further. I think, like we said with the crime, being our brother's keeper, supporting each other is very important. Just having that that base to go back to. You have a brother, a sister, a family, everybody who supports you. That pushes us to the next level. And I think that guidance that is lacking in our society, and people are now more on their own vibe. It's not about community anymore, but we need to go back to that. Like the independence theme said, "Do ensemble." We have to move together, and the unity. We have to bring each other together from the top down. We have so much division, whether it be through politics, whether it be through religion. There's so much separation within us, and I think the leaders in our community too should be pushing for more of that unity. We'll always have different principles. We'll always have different perceptions about how things should happen. But at the end of the day, we can put aside our differences and really come together and make St. Lucia an even better place, because what we have is it's so incredible. We have the beauty of our island, and we have the beauty of our people. I go to Jade Mountain every week, and every single time I look at the pitons and I look at that view, I get a sense of it's so magical, it's so inspiring, it gives me chills, every time I see it. So, and trust me, other people come out there and they see what we have. They wish to be in our place. So we're in such a heavenly place. I think we have to recognize and appreciate what we have, and really start to show it even more. We have to restore the pride. We have to big up ourselves more, and appreciate each other more, and we can take St. Lucia way further.
and of course, Team Alpha is always here to support.
Yeah, man, I appreciate
I would love for you to reach out to all those who have supported you, family, friends. This is your opportunity to extend immense thank you to them and also to leave a motivational quote.
Yeah, man. I want to pick up every single person, who's been supporting me from day one. And when I say day one, I mean way back, school days when I first came into to singing and performing. That's where it all started. Bigger to Super Comprehensive, bigger to Mr. Christopher Fevrier, who got me into music in the first instance. Bigger to all the teachers who encouraged me, bigger to my family, my friends, bigger to my crew. Whenever it was Soca Monarch, they will always be there, buses coming and support me. These things I always truly appreciate. Bigger to all the people who've been with me throughout the years. And I can only tell them to keep supporting, and I support them. I will continue to support them in whatever way that I can. And not just me, but keep supporting Soufre, keep supporting Soufre homegrown talent. Keep showing them love. Don't discourage them. Encourage them. Give them the vibes that they need to push forward. And to my people, I just say, there's two particular words that I use all the time is patience and perseverance. No matter what you're going through in life, whatever field of life that you're in, just remember sometimes it takes a little time to get better. So you must be patient. But But you can't just sit down there and expect it to get better. You have to persevere. You have to keep pushing through. Don't ever give up, because eventually something will give as long as you keep going and going and going. Don't get discouraged, man. Life is balanced. As much take the rainy days, the sun must shine again. Yeah,
Definitely.
big up.
88.5 Surf FM. This has been House Guest for today, Wednesday, the 15th of March, 2023. With me has been KFC of the Challenge, Mr. Allain himself. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much to our listening audience, both via frequency and online. I see a great thank you so much. Have yourself a productive day. Again, immense thank you to you, sir. Have a wonderful one.
Thanks for having me. All right. Make sure you check me. I keep locked into the profiles, Arthur Alley everywhere across the board. Appreciate you, Sufre FM, all the time. Much love. Saudi.
Problem.